Hello! Welcome to another episode of Know Your Fur, where we take a few minutes out of our day to get to know a random furry from the internet. Though the worlds and faces will change, the one thing that will always remain the same is meeting new people and making friends. So kick back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello! Welcome to another episode of Know Your Fur. Today we are joined by this lovely being. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
So my name is HiYeen. I'm 33. Let's see. I like to build stuff in VR chat. I love D&D, and I love vibing with beans.
Hi, Yeen, everyone. Also, they made the world that we're currently in. So,
Yes. Unity's painful.
Unity do be painful. Now,
props to anyone who does this full time. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
oh no, you're fine. I would love to do stuff like this full time, but I have my phases. I have my Unity phases, kind of like Minecraft. I will do nothing but Unity for 16 hours a day for like 2 weeks, and then stop for 6 months. So, why don't you tell us about your persona species? What is it exactly?
I'm a hyena. I love the Yeens. They're such lovely. Okay, I mean, if we're talking about the actual animals, then they're quite brutal. But one thing I really like about them is sure they have like that like aggressive side, and but there's a YouTuber that I like to watch called The Lion Whisperer, and he looks after some hyenas, and you get to see like another side of them with him. Sure, the hyenas, but then when he comes up, they're just like these little puppies. The ears fall back, adorable.
That sounds adorable. Will you send me a link to that later? Because I'd like to watch it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, how exactly did you find this species, and what made you be like, you know what? No, that's I got you, fam. I'm a hyena now.
You know what? That is a very, very good question. So I was playing a game with one of my friends called the game is called Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, and it's based on the D&D world, and one of the levels there you fight these gnolls, which were like these giant hyena men, and I'm like, hey, look, they look pretty cool. So I go on the good old Google, I Google gnoll, and then I see a cute little picture of one, and I'm like, ah, and then Google cute gnoll, and then cute hyena, and I just start like watching videos about them. And the more I learn about them, the more I realized, oh hey, like these creatures aren't really kind of what I expected them to be. Because hyenas are weird, right? Like if you see them, they've got like really thick, big. I don't know what's happening with my hand over there. Ah well. So they have these really like. I'll try and figure out what is going on over there. I do apologize.
Oh, you're perfectly fine. It's VR chat. I don't expect anything to go according to plan.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Right. You know what? I'll just stand up. That way the trackers can't get all confused. Right, so I'll resume from some part around my tirade, right?
Right. The gnolls.
Hyenas, like the gnolls, the gnolls. Hyenas, they are really like weird. Like if you have like a wolf, like the back is straight, but hyenas are they're like curved and lopsided, and they have kind of weird looking faces, and they make weird noises. But as I was watching videos and that, learning more about them, the more I don't know, I started to like see myself kind of more in that light, because I've struggled with self-image problems before, but seeing like these ugly creatures be cute and adorable, and it was like, hey, I actually kind of like get some inspiration from that. Also, I came up with the name HiYeen as well. Like, I was like, that actually works really well. And thus HiYeen was born.
That's lovely, but the inspiration started from the Knolls in Baldur's Gate.
Yes. That's where I first learned about Yeens properly.
For those of you that aren't familiar, a gnoll, think of a gnoll as a were hyena, but backwards. Instead of it being a human as the base, it's a hyena that turns into an anthropomorphic hyena, and they are a pain to deal with. And very, very rarely can you negotiate with them. How did you find the furry fandom exactly? Was it YouTube, Twitch? If it was recent, was it TikTok, Twitter? What?
So how I first started was I I was a late teenager, I think around 16 or so, and on the TV there was like a news article about ligers, you know, a cross between a lion and a tiger.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that sounds really cool. So go on Google search that. And then, you know, it's like, oh wow, there's people who draw like pictures of ligers. That's pretty cool. And then I started to get into like deviant art. Oh, god awful drawings I made. God awful. Then that kind of took a back seat when I became a brony. I mean, brony very controversial opinion maybe to some, but it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. So corporate wants to know what the difference is between these two pictures. They're the same thing, although conventions are different. But I digress. We can get into that. But yeah, so once the brony fandom kind of starts to wind down again, I got really interested in going into VR, and the furry scene's like really popular in VR. So I kind of like dusted myself off. And then joined VR, and this is VR is predominantly how I interact with furries and stuff.
So it started off with a
Google search.
a thing on TV talking about ligers that turned into a Google search.
I mean, I've always found animals interesting. Like, I love animals. They're so fascinating to watch and to learn, and just to see how they act. And you know, but I could spend ages talking about that. But it's we share a whole lot more things in common than people probably want to admit. But I like animals, so no shock.
No shock there. Okay, now that kind of leads me into my next question.
Mm-hmm.
What made you join the fandom, or did it just kind of happen?
Well, join the fandom. I mean, that implies like there's an application process of I'm going to apply to join this fandom, and then that entails X, Y, and Z. Really, I started like when I first went to VR chat, I just kind of went into furry worlds and vibed. And then it's kind of like snowballed from there, and you get involved in different communities, and yeah, a slow process there.
How long would you say you've been a furry?
Well, let's see. So if we count the very first like thing, when I was like 16, damn, I'm bad at math. You and the audience do the math.
Leave a comment below on how long Yeen has been a furry.
So it's this see. So if I add 4 to 16, that takes it to 20. Then if I add 10 to that, so that's 14 we already have in this bracket over here, plus 3. So that's 17 years. God, I've been a fairy longer than I haven't. Heck.
I feel that. I feel that much more than you can. I've been a furry for a little over 20 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think you're too much older than me, though.
I forget, how old did you say you were?
33.
I'm 3 years younger than you.
I mean, okay, are you, when you're talking about being a furry, are you including, like, just liking furry media? Because then, fuck, I was a furry when I was fucking 3.
I would say that the classification of being a furry is when you find out what a furry is, and you're just like, okay, yeah, no, I can vibe with this. I vibe with this.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. See, yeah. Damn, nice.
Yeah. 11. I was 11, and
Nice.
I had unfiltered access to the computer. So your VR chat model here, is it indicative of your persona?
Yes. This is my persona. I made this. I commissioned someone for for a basic like ref sheet. I like designed the colors and was like, "Hey, Bean, can you like draw this?" And he drew a really nice hyena, quadruped. Originally, I was gonna have like a blue tie because I like in real life would always like wear like ties and stuff. But this model came with a collar. I like the collar. I even put like a little Yeen on the collar.
That is lovely.
Yeah, I spent 40 hours working on this avatar. I could have not done it's not. I love it. It's great. I did not need to spend all that time working on it. I edited the mesh in Photoshop and tried to so I draw like dots on Photoshop to try and figure out how it would go on the model. I think I'll just don't learn from me, kiddos. Don't do that. Just learn to do it properly with what is it, like Paint? There's like a Paint Pro or something like that.
I use if I have to do a texture, I use Krita if I have the texture model. If not, I ask someone that has Substance Painter to do it for me, because
Substance Painter, that's the one. Use Substance Painter, kiddos. Don't be silly like me and just spend hours drawing dots all over and trying to get it to work. Just Substance Painter. Learn it. You'll appreciate that. You'll be a better VR chat artist. I'm dumb. Don't do this.
I feel that 100%. The first model that I tried to retexture, I tried retexturing in Krita, and I worked on the textures for like 6.5 hours. Was so happy with how they looked in Krita, exported them, uploaded them into Unity. They didn't work. Come to find out, I had painted on the wrong layer. Yeah, talk about pain.
Ouch. I actually still do have my very first version of HiYeen as an avatar. Like, I can change into it if you want to see how.
Yeah, by all means,
how it's progressed.
Give us a look at what the Yeen used to look like.
Which I guess it's not too. I'll wait for it to load.
No, you're loading. Unpacking again.
So let's see. Outfit. Fur texture. Oh god, I even made the eyes red. I did this for a I like to shit post in freeze tag. There we go.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging the hair. It gives me like Rocksteady and Bebop vibes.
Yeah, I was kind of like everything on the sliders that I want, just 100%. But yeah,
Oh, but
this was it. Hello.
hold on, I need to.
And the fur textures are just lines drawn, lots of lines, not the best. There's some good tutorials out there on how to draw fur properly.
I don't know how to do that. It's just I paint, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it works.
Exactly. Okay, well, let me resume my sitting pose.
You mentioned that you had a ref sheet. Do you have any other art of your Yeen?
In fact, I do. So I've got some like things done, but it's actually featured in this world. Like like one of my favorite pieces that I got commissioned. I can show you if you want. We can.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Sure. No problem. Also, would you mind, before we do that, would you mind sending me some of the pictures so I can put them up on the screen?
Sure. Yes. Cool. Absolutely. Oh wait, yeah. So yeah, no need to go show you in the world. I can just send you them right there. So yeah, okay. You can have some Yeen pics. I'll send you Yeen pics.
Okie dokie. Sounds good to me. Saves me from having to reset all this up. Now, something that I've been dying to know, do you have a fursuit? Mm-hmm. And if not, would you ever want one, and what style would you want it
in? No, I don't have a fursuit. Yes, I'd absolutely love one. And as for style, I'm not too sure. I mean, to be honest, I'm quite uneducated over styles of fursuits. I just see them and go, wow, that is fluffy creature. I guess I'd want to try and like have it mirror HiYeen as best as possible. I mean, I do know that some people get really particular about spot patterns. I'm not particular. Like, it needs to have these spots in this exact location. Yeah, I'd love a suit. Hell yeah.
Okay, now here's a question that I haven't asked before that just popped into my mind. If you were to get a fursuit, digigrade or plantigrade?
So probably, well, plantigrade is like with the legs like this, right?
No, that's digigrade. Plantigrade is where they're like people legs.
Normal legs. Yeah, plantigrade then. While I would absolutely love to have like this, I think definitely to start off with, I just want a partial. So, sorry guys, just seems like way more convenient. But you know, still have the pubs, you know, and the head, but still wear like regular shoes and stuff. Like if I had like a full suit. Mind you, yeah, digigrade suits, they do look nice. As long as if it wasn't like super uncomfortable to wear, because I am also quite practically minded. Yeah, I mean, digigrade is pretty cool. Yeah.
I would like digigrade, but that's because I like the aesthetic of it. Do you are you a content creator of any kind?
I mean, aside from VR chat stuff and D&D, not really.
Okay. If you were to ever start doing Twitch or YouTube or anything like that, what do you think you would do?
That's an interesting question. I'm not really too sure. Because like I like doing D&D and Unity stuff for fun. It's a way that I can learn and express. And seeing enough like Twitch content and YouTube creator content, it's more of like a performance. You know, it turns into a job. So I'm not really sure how I'd do or what I would do in that case.
Moving into the next question. Do people outside of the furry fandom that aren't furries in the slightest, like friends or family, do they know you're a furry?
Um, a couple do. I'm not like I don't like advertise. Like I haven't like come out to my mum and dad. It's like mum and dad, I'm a furry. No. Like I just say this is all game stuff. I mean, I was honest about the Brony stuff with them, and they're like, "It's weird, but sure, you're making friends and you're doing well." So, and honestly, what more can you ask of people? Like, that's weird, but you keep doing it if it makes you happy.
It's weird, but you do you.
Yeah, but I do hide my power level out in non-furry like communities and stuff.
Gotta keep that power below 9,000.
Exactly.
Moving into the final segment and last question for today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice for people who are just entering the fandom or thinking about joining?
I mean, that as I touched on a little earlier, it's not like there's an official application process. Like the fandom is whatever you make of it yourself. It's a really nice place to meet new people. And how you do that, like, when I first started off being a furry and going on to DeviantArt, I struggled, like, getting to know people. In fact, I struggled just communicating, to be honest. It wasn't until I got into VR chat. My very first time going into VR chat, damn, I was so awkward. I didn't talk to anyone. I felt like a lamb to the slaughter. Like there just loads of people all talking amongst themselves, and I didn't want to like interrupt. I didn't want to seem like I was bothering anyone. But yeah, a bean kind of came up to me and started talking to me, and I was so bewildered. But yeah, I kept at it, and they were a nice bean, and then we kept talking, and then you meet a bean through them. I guess to answer your question, it's whatever you make of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be this big thing. And if you go, I want to join the furry fandom, that doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, you're going to join and you're going to get involved. It's what you make of it. I hope that kind of makes sense.
It does. It does. And I appreciate you. Thank you for your words of encouragement. But I think I think a
push
super
yourself, Yeah, you got to push yourself. Get outside your comfort zone. I think that's the important thing. Just give it a try.
Meet people and be yourself.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Yeen, for coming onto the show and letting me interview everyone. This has been HiYeen, and this is Pip signing off. Until next week, I hope you all have a lovely day. Remember to hydrate, medicate, and eat your food, and rest. I know you haven't slept.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Get 8 hours of sleep.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.